Something about the 15 pages I read yesterday night.
Yes.
Delivered through an email.
Yeah.
So, hi Papa. Oh no, hi Papaji. It starts like this. Hi dear friends of Papaji. Hi the dear devotees, whatever, of Papaji. And then quoting quite a long chapter where Master speaks, Papaji speaks, speaking of the three states, and that one has to realize is the weakness of the three states. So it's not the states, waking, dreaming and sleeping, but in his own way. In his own very original way, he develops that, and it's very interesting. And then immediately after, he says, like this, he gave us a few messages. I don't distort the words. He gave a few messages of wisdom, which you can find, which have been collected in the book of David Goodman and other books. However, he didn't give a method step by step to his devotees to realize the self. And here you can find in the Vedantas and Upanishads, and in one great Pandit, wise man of Bangalore, alive today, he made a methodology to realize the self, chapter 1. And then like this, a few chapters with every paragraph, quotation, dot, Krishna Iyer, you can go and see, and every time. And then it is called the methodology, three basic views of life. This is the methodology, means what a man does in his life, he wakes up, he dreams and he sleeps, that's all. So, it's very easy to realize the self if you follow this very carefully, here and now. And they go on, and then each state, of course, is a different ego, and then it becomes so complicated that in the beginning you need to, you okay, it's interesting, and then it becomes like such a confusion delivered, and that was it. 15 pages, just an aperçu, overview of the great work which is done after masters who had no methods. But still, J. Papaji, but no methods. So, you don't know that man, but
I know him.
Yeah, a few know him. He has been very dear to the master. He's a very good man, and also he was the son of a family. Anyway, for years and years, even more than me. And he had a fantastic correspondence with the master. He was taken for enlightened being by a few in Lucknow, and he kept quiet for 11 years, and now he delivers this to the devotees of Papaji, because he sent that to many. What does it mean? I find that he criticized his master, that it was not complete. And I am very angry. As I am not in contact with him, I don't say anything, but I find that it is not acceptable. He's wrong. If he could not, imagine, if he could not see the greatness of no method, What did he hear? It is his originality of the master to have no method. And now he says, however, he didn't step by step give a method. Here is a method. And the method, I tell you, it is so perverse because it is based on very good Vedanta, Papaji saying, Vedanta, and some cooking, which gives a confusion bigger than many who are confused. How come? How come? I mean, after it means he was never realized.
Of course, yes.
It was never realized, and so this is possible.
Was never realized. Because he was never, it means he was never realized. So is that the possibility to realize and fall back?
Never. It's impossible. It's totally impossible. But you see, because everybody took him as this, he believed himself, it reinforced his pride to have attained something. And I don't know, it's amazing. And it happened to so many. But at least he could have kept quiet and say, okay, now I found something better which is good for me. Let him keep quiet and personally go to that way. But to write to all the devotees of Papaji, I find it really what a arrogance. And this man is known to be the less arrogant of all of us. You see? What? It's just appearance. You look like this and like this. It's once again it is to say, so one has really not to look at appearances. Somebody look like melted, like having no ego, like having a knowledge. Then what? You see, what does it do? Not.
Happened this situation, we know
No.
some more, huh?
Yes, some more. The thing is that this one nobody wanted to touch because he was a very kind and open-hearted and gentleman. It's a surprise. Anyway, that's it. It's interesting. But the pity is that he was the only Indian taken for.
But I was thinking,
and now there is no Indian.
You don't
left.
think he got? You don't think he got some influence for traditional Indian tradition?
Who can get an influence?
No, but
a
I mean
realized
Raj.
one?
No. No, of course not. But maybe because he's in India and he's got some.
If I was in India, I would not have been.
No, I know, I'm sure. Well, but just to
explain.
To explain how we can.
No. It is deeper than that.
Yeah.
You see, if you need this, it means you still search.
Yes.
And the master is not there, so they search in some reduced. It's no more the demand of liberation. It is then they go to this fucking understanding and all that, and they've confused completely. They don't even remember a word of their master if they start, here there is a methodology. The master, Papaji, is a symbol of no method. So if he can start like this, he renounce, he renie, he
renounces. Oh, renounce? Yes.
No, denies master. Then, you see, all is possible, but let him keep it for himself. He has to spread his shit all over the world. I will not greet him if I see him in India. I will not serve her because but I will not greet him. That is sure. This Lacno period really produced a few fake ones, I tell you.
We know
I can't believe. I'm very happy not to belong to that. I would never ever belong to that. Never. Really. And it took me more time to understand because what the master was not giving satsang in that way, he was giving koans. You see, some word was cutting the flow of your mind. Now I remember, you see, so there was absolutely no understanding, but your mind was cut. The flow of your mind was cut. That's why I had to understand by myself. He was not giving understanding. It was maybe the perfect way. That I don't do because I explain too much. But what to do? I'm a byproduct only then. I don't care if I am a byproduct. But at least it is on the same pointing. I don't give you a methodology or this or that. That gave me a bit adrenaline, which is always good.
One of the things I find interesting about her, because I don't know him, is that you said some of the people there take him to be enlightened or whatever, and they're the ones that he addresses and tries to... so it's the fact that he doesn't disabuse them of it. Like, for instance, I've seen you with us, when people have ideas of, discipleship or who you are or what you're doing here and everything. You just chop it all away. But there's the same tendency in us that they have, those people who gravitate to him. It's just that he has not disabused them of it. Do you think it's that?
He has been abused?
Well,
no, I don't know. I don't know. You see, I didn't have contact with him. I don't know what's going on with him. My reaction is to the email. I don't know. Maybe he has nobody. Maybe he just writes. But the point was more how one has distorted what Master said.
Yeah. But what I was trying to look at was, you can say that he is misleading them, and that if he was rigorous with himself, he would not be able to mislead them in that way because he'd know that he wasn't what they think he is, aware or enlightened. And then he wouldn't teach them like that. But there's also a question of, do you say that the people who are with him deserve him because they are willing to be misled?
It's everywhere like that. Yeah, sure. You see, the point is that, okay, good if he finds it good, but to tell, hey, the good news, poor, you lost your master, Papaji the Great One, but now I found the methodology and all. It's a bit like that, not a message, which is, what does it? No, I only fight that. Otherwise, that is his own personal thing. To write, you see the email, it goes all over the world.
You write this email for everybody.
And it can be given to others. Anyway, we will not spend all the time about that, but just to say that Master was very wise in always telling, wait and see.
Yes.
Wait, even he said, at least 10 years and see.
He said that.
Yeah, always. And here is the paradox, because you are realized it's irreversible. And yet, one has to keep quiet. There is something there which you cannot understand, but which is very true. Yeah, you always said that.
I was shocked to realize that I go in a state of, let's say, quietness or no man's land.
Okay.
I will call it like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was sure that I will not take it for this.
Yeah,
for that.
okay.
But this morning somehow I still give reality to it.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I just want to say that,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's-
sure. You don't know where to go
still-
else.
What?
You don't know where to go else. Where else to go? Where else to?
I was really shocked to see that there's still
Yeah, but it's wonderful, you see, because when you are shocked to see, it means you really realize that it is still something, still a landing place. So what happens? When you realize with a shock, can you still be there if you realize it?
no.
Okay, then be happy. And don't try to make out what it is. Huh? Yes. And then, what? Tell them.
I find that it's my weak point to make. I try to make out.
Of course, the mind. You see, the mind has an horror. They say horror of emptiness, horror not to be filled by something. That's true. That is the mind, the survival of the mind. So just let him do that, because this poor mind, then what? But don't take it for real, that's all. Everybody has a different way to do it. I spoke of yogi yesterday, it was also an email where he phoned me, then there was an email telling his experience, and it was a very beautiful experience, we can say, of no mind, but something which stays with the ordinary life, as he says, goes on, and still he felt such a huge change in living it. And so all the words he uses looks real in a way. It's so true, it's so well described. But you see, as I told him on the phone, I said, this is a beautiful experience. And then I said to him, so why do you phone me? So to me, I didn't continue because you spoke, probably I wanted to say, or you phone to be confirmed, or you phone because there is a question mark, is it or something like that. or on phone to tell that's it, we share the same, we are good friends, you see. And he's lucky. Actually, the phone passed and so on, and he wrote another email. I didn't read fully, but the beginning is enough. I will read it carefully, but the beginning is enough to say, he says that he has been touched by that. So something has shaken his conviction. And you see, to me, before I read that, I saw it's obvious. If you still tell yourself have the need to tell always, that to describe what you live, it means it is still somebody's there to be sure to locate yourself. If there is somebody he wants to describe, otherwise he feels mad. No, it's the mental hospital people, there are many types, but there are also the types where they don't know where they are. So it's a disturbed mind. So if you are not with a disturbed mind, you have to locate, describe, know what's happening to you. So he did that very well with that experience. It was like looking like a magnifying glass, every detail, and in that way it was very interesting, a deep experience. But it means there was still somebody concerned to be very true, very finally detached from all what he wanted to be detached. But no, I don't know. But still, it's a very good reaction. Yes. So that's what I wanted to say. So it happens to everybody, but at some point when you describe well, be aware that, okay, if still this is the need, it's because there is somebody. It's because the eye has not been shaken yet. It's amazing, but it's like that. This eye, this root, we always shake what is above, rising from the eye, above the eye. We never shake it. Of course, it's not that obvious, easy, but this has to be done. No? I also lost so much time and in trying to always describe, and at some point you also need to do that, because otherwise you remain in confusion. So again a paradox. One has to be very clear, that's true. At some point clarity itself is an entrance. Or one crosses all and that's it, of course. But, those steps can come. The methodology of those steps are very naturally shown.
I remember once it's happened in, it was in Ardois, you know, I think Lila was with me at that time. You remember? Punjaji bring us, you know, Punjaji bring us to a big place, a roundabout, you know, where you have a lot of truck making a noise, smoky and everything. You remember that place? And he bring us there. We sit there and we say, oh, such silence. So, at that time I tell you, I say, totally crazy, you know, and full of dust, you know, out in India, you know, and so, oh my God, and we stay like this for half an hour, you know, silence. Crazy things, you know. Oh my God.
Interesting how a long time after you've said something, I suddenly hear it. I'm alone, usually driving the car. And today what I heard you say was realization doesn't happen to someone.
That's why it's of no use to try to describe what happens to someone.
Yes.
The mind is so extraordinarily smart that you see, hearing this, you will invent no one is there. No, it's true. I mean, it is so smart. And then from no one, you speak what you find in the Upanishads. So you are confirmed this is it. No way out. No hope.
I found it a great relief. I don't know what that means, but I just it created a relaxation in me, just hearing that.
Don't reduce it to relaxation. Don't reduce the letting go of that concept to relaxation. This is too less. Never bring this word with me. I hate that word. To relax. I hate it. It's good for yoga. It's no good here in satsang. I don't like one is relaxed.
I don't think.
I don't like one is relaxed.
No. But can I correct
Sure,
my
sure.
word?
You are obliged anyway.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I would say relief. And this you may not like either, but this
It's much better.
it's a much better word, and actually it is more proper in this.
So don't be afraid to use big words. Don't be afraid to use big words. Don't reduce with small words. Because whatever you utter, you become. While driving, you will really hear it. You see, otherwise you do the same as somebody who says to be liberated, is like to take a cup of coffee. The same. You see? So, of course, this is it also, but you cannot cut the sentence there. You can say then to take a cup of coffee and not to take a cup of coffee. Then it would be more interesting. Everybody reduces. That's why in the end it looks like banal. Oh, it's only that. What's the big thing to have searched? Yeah, just, but it's a good occasion anyway.
Yeah, but that's not at all how I...
Yeah.
Yeah, I will not accept what you say. No, because it's not... But it's good.
It's always a good occasion. Only you are the victim just now, but this is we like when some victim is there because
Yeah, but actually I don't.
they've been too complacent with themselves, accepting no, it's not virtue, but it's a good occasion.
Yeah.
Accepting to the words relaxation and all, that nowadays teachers, they deliver something very pale because they've been too quickly satisfied, you see. Then what they deliver is at that level. So I really tell you, if you hear this, what is here, at least do whatever you like, but never make it a banality. Then I kill you on the spot if I meet you 20 years later. At least. Otherwise, you see, the words of my master, they will die this same century.
Can I say something else?
Yeah, there too, yes.
Yeah. What the effect of hearing those words from you this morning, in fact, for me, opened a new door. I would say that it was wonderful to hear them at last.
Yeah.
And let's say some of the tension of this fell, relief of the tension,
Sure, the
and
concept.
that I can be more present now.
Absolutely,
that.
a concept left you.
Yeah, okay.
A huge
Yes.
concept
Yeah,
left you.
that's what I would say.
Absolutely.
But it gives it even more, the contrary of what you just said. It gives it more value now to me. It's because I can really be here as not trying to follow. I mean, yeah. I have to reply to what you just said because I can't take it sitting down. Yeah.
When the master was cutting the flow of the mind. So my question is, can I also do it by myself? I'm asking because just as I heard it, was like, then you can see what's real, not before.
No, because it is this so seemingly constant flow of the mind which makes you
what I can see,
which covers you, yeah, sure. But it could be sometimes a landscape, sometimes whatever can do that effect, you see. Sometimes it can happen not only in satsang, but you cannot command it. It's just, it happens by surprise. Order it, you cannot order it.
so there's only the longing after this.
No, search. Just search. When I say search, or don't search, but then you have to get that experience. When I say search, I don't say search something. Of course.
It's just if I see my flow of the mind, I'm a little bit fed up from this, yeah, because in my ways there are different ways from flow of mind. Yeah, I know my ways kind of strange. Other people have other kind of flow. Yeah, but I see it's not helpful to watch it then. But
No,
still it's a strong habit, yeah, to jump on it and be busy while then I see again, what, yeah. And that's why I'm looking for a stop for this.
Cannot be ordered.
Yeah. Just explain my attitude.
Yeah, no, sure. It's like, you see, the mind can be stunned, shocked, surprised. There is a possibility of at least tasting something else, and then it removes the vasanas, it removes the prince of the usual concept. When you heard that the hurt was flat and no more round, see, it stops to move.
I know it.
The earth is not
Finally, it's not
round
flat.
but flat. That stops moving. It's well, no, it's something else. It's amazing how the scientific people they find also that this world is an appearance, because what we say is matter. It's known, but they found out there is no matter. It is this and that. And so in this, even in the mind, they conceive that we have illusions. It's illusions. So in the philosophical, or in the search of oneself, as well, the illusions. It's not so. It's not so strange to speak of illusions.
They say also it's totally empty. Empty. The world is empty. I mean, the universe is totally empty, as they say. They said scientific, yeah?
Yeah. So we have the illusions that it is full. Yes. It's an illusion. Attention doigt! Attention doigt! Anyway, just to tell that Shivan is not there. That doesn't matter. No, our world was dream. Yeah, it was not illusion. She was.
Contribute something. When I arrived here in the parking, one of the last satsangs came into my mind when I asked you about the benefits of the presence of a master, how a seeker benefits from the presence of a master, and what does happen to this benefit when the seeker dies without having realized. And it struck me on the way here because I saw where I automatically place myself. This seeker who wants to have benefit, which is really amazing.
An identification.
Absolutely.
And who told you you have to?
Yeah, it's not about somebody who realizes, it's about truth.
Yes, great to see that. But you see the benefit of exposing what you feel or think or doubt or question or you are convinced of. This is great because you said so. You get yourself the answer. Mm-hmm. It's great. So that's gone.
Yeah, but it took a while also. Can you realize? Not while driving car, while walking. Mm-hmm.
But it means it's with you.
Yeah.
It means something. You may do this and that, but there is underground your attraction. So that's gone. Something else has to go? Could be the last one, huh?
Should be.
Could be. It's quite a good ultimate. It's quite good as an ultimate. Let's go. or you prefer the experience of the let's go, then there will be another let's go. Huh?
This was not a letting go, this was just not taking that position anymore. Or not believing in taking that position.
One cannot order this, but I just ordered it.
Oh yeah.
Because,
Yeah, it's part of the desire to be free, of course. Of course, desire. But I mean,
okay.
sure. You see, you have really start to see that it's not because you experience something that it is real. It's not because you experience or you feel or you think that it's real. After all, it comes to that. Okay, the body, the mind, they do experience, but it's not because there is an experience that it is real. It's not because I think this is solid that it is really solid. It's the senses and all, it's all a chemistry and whatever, we will not enter into details. But one has to really, it's not even trust, it has to this relation, one understands that. And it's more, it can be more than understanding, yeah? It's just realizes that.
This is the point where I feel that I have really not started. Understanding, yes, but not seeing.
Yeah, but it can be whatever. Tomorrow rain or better weather?
Better.
Better
A little
weather?
bit rain, but from now on it will be a little bit better. Some little rain, but
Yeah.
Somehow it's the feeling that maybe I really could drop this search, but what I can't drop is the rest in a way.
Is the rest?
Yeah.
Which rest? It's funny. As long as this is an hindrance, you reinforce your search. That's sure.